I hope this works. Any feedback would be appreciated. How's it going, guys? We should have cell phone service for this this stretch of road. I'll try and stick to the main roads. Not as fun roads, but oh well. Southeast Iowa, Northwest Ohio. I'm streaming this from West. Thank you, Red. There isn't anything I can do about the stream lagging, but I appreciate you letting me know. I was thanking Red for telling me that my bus is full. I'm streaming this from western West Virginia. You guys said you're in southeast Iowa, northwest Ohio. I'm in the almost to the westernmost point of West Virginia. To my right is the Ohio River. Yes, 147 is in very good shape for the most part. I think I'm actually going to take it up to my grandmother's on Monday because I have apparently I have family coming in from Mississippi. I didn't know they were coming in, but yeah, they're coming in. So last year I brought 23. It was like within the week I bought 594, so I didn't want to bring it all the way up there. But so this year I think I'm going to bring this one. Right here is one of the stupidest railroad crossings in the county. You cannot see anything to the left, but not very far. And when you're coming up the road, you can't see anything to the left either. Cameron, I do have something interesting to tell you about this stretch of road later. Pretty much from when I started the stream through now and a little bit later, I'll tell you something about this road that you will find interesting. What card? Do I want to know? No, I don't, actually. I don't know what that is. You'll have to tell me later. I'm probably going to feel stupid, but... It's not too narrow. It's wide enough for a school bus, and you feel like you have enough room, but could be wider. And this went from pretty much a state highway down to like a main drag through town. Goes from 55 to 45 to 35 to 25 pretty quickly. I've got to fight the urge to make a left turn here. I usually make a left turn here, but no, I'm going to keep going straight. That bus meet if they'll let me. It looks like it'd be a good spot for it. Sorry, trying to get somebody out of my tail swing area. You know what? Let's cross state lines. Let's go into Ohio. Driven a bus across this bridge. Proctorville, Ohio is where I'm going. I'll probably take it down to South Point and then hit the interstate back across the river. Well, it's Route 52 and then it'll be the interstate. been out of state since I've owned it. I could drive 15 minutes to Ohio, or about, 20 or so to Kentucky. I mean, you were on the phone the other night with me when I went to Kentucky, so you know how long it takes me. How much is it to fill up one with full tank, even with it leaking fuel? The fuel leak is very, very slow, so I mean, it's annoying, but it's not like dumping out whenever I fill it up. So it's got a 65-gallon tank. Let's say I know most places around here are between like $3.50 and $4 a gallon, so let's just keep it on the higher side of that, so $4 just to make it easier. So it'd be like $2.40, $2.60, something like that if it was completely empty. Right now we're at about a quarter, so I'm going to put some fuel in it before I park it, but I'm trying to keep it low so that way whenever I have to do work on the fuel tank, it's not super heavy. I don't want to fill it up and then have the time to do it and then put myself in a bad spot when I didn't need to be. I might. It just depends on if we do it at my friend's shop or not, because I don't want to get him in trouble. I don't want somebody to happen to find my video and be like, hey, wait, I recognize that shop. Hey, wait, I recognize that guy. That's an employee. And then get him in trouble. So we'll see. I'm going to say probably not, because it'd be much easier to do it out there with the tools that he's got versus the tools that I've got. So because this is not going to be done through the shop. They have their own trucks that they work on. This is not their vehicle to work on. I guess he doesn't own the shop, he works for the shop. So we're going to be using the shop that he works for. Wow, somebody's kissing my rear bumper. I'm not going however fast they want to go, because I know the speed limit drops up here. As you can see, there's a sign coming up on the right. Can't really see it in the video, but it says speed limit 35 ahead. How's it going? Here's where speed limit drops. And you do not want to be the victim of a small town cop. Especially me being in a school bus. sure if it's the same 52. It might be, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. I know it goes down through West Virginia. It goes through a pretty good portion of Ohio. It goes through Cincinnati, I think. My future plans for 147, pretty much what you're seeing right now, just tinkering with it, enjoying it, doing small things, and probably have a big project eventually, but I don't know yet. I'm gonna probably do the taillight conversion tomorrow, the sound off lights, but we'll just play it by ear. North Carolina up through Iowa into Minnesota. It might be the same 52 then. Thank you, I love them too. It looks like it's brighter outside in the video than it really is, and they really pop at nighttime. Yes, you do. If they're over 26,000 pounds. I've seen buses that are 25,500, so those would not technically require a CDL, but it depends on how you register. If it's registered as a commercial vehicle, then you probably would still need a CDL. I almost bought a Bluebird Freightliner back in like 2018. I did a video on it. It was from Randolph County, which is neighboring to Barber County, but it had a 5.9 Cummins. It was a 54 passenger, and it was 25,500 GVWR. So that's what you really got to look at. They don't care about air brakes anymore. It's mainly the weight and how you register. Mine are still registered as buses, so yeah. One of those things. It's better safe than sorry to have, because, or if you register it as a motorhome, however your state wants to do it, but then again, you get insurance problems there, so not everybody wants to insure a converted school bus or a big liability. Because people who don't know how to drive something this big typically are the ones who convert school buses. I always forget about that turn lane there, that random little turn lane. If I can find a parts bus that's cheap enough, then yeah, I'd definitely be interested in buying one just for storage. But it would have to be a bus that I could actually use for parts and storage. That's the thing. Like it's got to be useful. I saw a Vision for sale not too far from me today, and I thought about it, but like the only thing that I could really use from it's the rear door, because it's a Vision. It's not an International, so it won't have the same fuel tank that I need. I mean, it had some lights and stuff on it too, but that's stuff that I can get pretty easily. So it's the tougher stuff that I'm trying to get. Like that's what makes it worth it. I don't believe it's that way here in West Virginia. actually about to pass an Ohio bus garage up here. This is Chesapeake Union Exempted Village Schools coming up. How's it going, Eric? I'm not sure how much of it you'll be able to see, but I'll tell you when we're about to get to it. I actually know somebody who drives over here. He's a sub, but he drives over here. They just got 5 brand new Visions in too. I've driven one around the lot at Mike and B's. It was a pretty decent bus, and that's why I bought the FS65 with the cat. I really enjoyed that one. But here is Chesapeake's lot. You can kind of see one of their new Visions here off to the side. It's actually... Next, come back over here. I think I saw a T3. They did not have before. I didn't really see it that good, but I did not do exhaust work. No, this thing is just, I think what you're hearing is the transmission. It is a 6-speed, but in the school buses they lock the 6th gear, so it only go up to 5th gear. There's a guy who posts in the schoolie groups every so often that will unlock the 6th gear for you. So I'm probably going to do that. Yeah, having an extra gear is nice. My 2017 C2 that I drive during the school year actually has 6 gears that are used. And very nice. I really want to get that 6th gear unlocked on this one. Cameron, are you still here? Okay, there's a gas station up here that I'm going to point out later after this stream. I think you'll find something interesting about it once I tell you what it is. Gas station and a road, yes. This right here is US 52. Yes, and the card. Yeah, once she's warmed up, she runs great, but if you just start it and start going, don't let it warm up to operating temperature. It is slow, very slow. Yeah, it's 9:23 here, so we're about the same time. This one is definitely a very fun bus to drive. I've very much lucked out on this one. And even though the specs were really cool in that Mayfield bus I wanted to buy like a year and a half ago, there's somebody on a bike that's not wearing anything reflective except for the backs of their pedals and a little bit on their backpack. But they're lucky I have good eyes. Anyways, the specs are really cool on that other Bluebird International I wanted, but this one just runs so much better. I never got to test drive this one. I just got lucky. This one was West Virginia spec. That's why I wanted it over the other. Not that I knew this one was going to be for sale at that point, but I wanted one that was West Virginia spec. And now we are back in West Virginia. And on the other side of this light up billboard here is a bingo hall. And there used to be a Lowe's and the lumber shelter. We parked buses there during the school year, but that is where 594 spent its 3 years sitting before I bought it. Who wants to go to Kentucky? Let's go to Kentucky. Let's do 3 states in one trip. We're actually going to be getting off of that exit, Cameron. Because we're only like 6 miles from Kentucky right here, so. I think this bus will handle it, yeah. Yeah, no, it is pretty rough. It's not as bad as it used to be, though. It used to be terrible. Lights in my gauge cluster work better. You can see they don't really work that well. But Cameron has not rode this bus yet. No, he's not seen it yet. I have heard that. I'd say they probably could. I just haven't really looked into it yet. I kind of want to put a gauge cluster from a first gen CE or FE or something in here with the white gauge faces and everything, but I need to find one with a transmission temp gauge, which for some reason you don't see very often. I guess they only did it for the 3060s, I'm not sure. Seems like every one that I've seen that I've wanted does not have that gauge on it. No, they are not LED yet, but I plan on changing them over at some point. It's not a huge priority at the moment. My question for you guys is, if you could drive one of my 2 buses, 147, this bus here, the 2004 Bluebird International, or 23, my 2002 Bluebird Freightliner with a stick shift, which one would it be? No, nobody's broken into them since the last video that I did on that. Thankfully. I check every time I go over there. Yeah, no, would definitely say 23. Yeah, no. I really enjoy both of them. They're totally different to drive. This one, of course, has a lot better get up and go once it's warmed up, but I do like shifting gears too. But it is nice also to have a bus you can just get in and go and not have to worry about like upshifting, downshifting, and all that stuff. Just a nice, easy cruiser. That's kind of why I bought this one. But, am I really losing service on the interstate? Wow. This is also considered part of US 52, I believe. I'm also used to getting off here because that's where the Freightliner dealer is. I go there for parts all the time for my job. We have a lot of Freightliner trucks. Most of our trucks, I would say, are Freightliner. We have a lot of internationals too. I'm on the interstate. But that's where US 50 is. So we're just on I-64 now. Well, it doesn't end. It just goes down through West Virginia. Because we are approaching Kentucky. I'd like a S-Series with a 466 and a manual, but I'd want like a Bluebird or a Thomas or a Superior probably. I really would. I think I would love to have a Thomas S-Series. I don't know why. Yes, 147 is air brakes. I'm not sure when exactly it was mandated. I'll have to look into it. But yeah, West Virginia has mandated air brakes for years and years. The 5.9s are not bad engines. I like them. It's just a lot of them were lower horsepower. They were kind of a cheaper engine option, so they really don't have any get up and go. Where this is a higher horsepower DT. I mean, you can get a higher horsepower Cummins, it'd be all right, but. Oh yeah, I see 466 with 545 a lot, but 466Ds I see. I think any mechanical DT 466 came with the, if it came with an automatic, it came with an Allison MT643. That is something I learned from Texas Street Man. We are in Kentucky, by the way, but that is something I learned from Texas Street Man. And they didn't start putting the 545s behind them until sometime after the 466D was introduced. Ohio had a lot of those 466, 545 combinations. So Cameron, if I were to turn right at this light, we'd go to Waffle House. It's pretty much just down the road up here. But turning left, I'm going to get back on the interstate and head back the way I just came. Because we are now in Kentucky. I'd say this bus has probably been to Ohio before because Wood County also borders Ohio. Just further up the river, but I don't know if it's ever been to Kentucky. Yeah, I was raised around these 466 MD3060s, so I'm biased too. I totally get it. I'm not saying your opinion is wrong. I'm just saying I have my opinion, you have your opinion. That's great. There's also a giant chemical refinery here, like for Marathon, and they have their own buses, but the thing is, they're behind a fence and they are way away from the road. You can still see them from the road, not very well, but I'm not even going to try because it's a refinery and they have huge, like a very big security budget. So. We had Bluebirds in the time that I was in school. I think our oldest Bluebirds that we had were like 1994s, and of course the newest ones we had were 04s. So our newest Bluebirds were 3800s. Great motors too. I wouldn't mind having a 360. I'm just partial to 466s because that's, you know, what I grew up with. I really like the 3126s. I mean, I own one too, so I still like a 466 better because, like we talked about. Me too. I love the way they sound and the way they drive. I've seen is probably like laid eyes on myself was 539, which was an 85 Wayne International. They used it as the shelter painting bus for a while. They ended up selling it in like 2014 because it had a bad motor. Every single international motor from the 90s except for a 6, well, they didn't put 6.9s and 3800s, so I guess 80s and 90s, the only two I haven't driven. International made themselves. I've not driven a 9-liter or a 6.9, but I've driven a 7.3 IDI, I've driven a 7.3, 444, I've driven 466, 466E, 360, 408. Yeah, I like them all. The 07 T3, I don't think they made 07 T3 yet either. They made A3 FEs in 07. I like the A3s, but D3 started in 2010, I think, and they stopped it in 2013, 2014. I like the D3 though, it's very nice. I've never driven one, but I think they're neat. There's only like 4 counties out of the 55 in West Virginia that have any, and two of those only have one. Mercer County has one, Roane County has one, Boone County has, or not Boone, Braxton County has 4 of them, and then Raleigh County has a ton of them, probably like 20 or 30. kind of guess. Maybe not that many, like 20-ish, 15 to 20 at least. Chevy chassis, yes I would. A CB200. I mean, I consider other ones, like I told a friend of mine that I would be interested in his I think it's a 1990 GMC Bluebird whenever he's ready to part with it. But that was a nice bus. I think it was from, it may have been from Iowa. But it's in Indiana now. Oh yeah, no, I saw that, but no, I'm good. But I'd love to have me like a 02, 03 GMC or Chevy CB200 one to do. All I want is air brakes. I don't care what motor it's got. I kind of prefer gas just because I already have a 3126. But I want one that, I just want a CB200 that's got the same switch panel as my two current buses. Yeah, no, I don't have enough money for another bus right now. Cameron, go ahead and write that down. $3,800s are good buses. No matter what 3800 you get, you do not get a bad one. I mean, well, it depends on how they're maintained. Like, they did not put a bad motor in the 3800. Every engine option that you could get in those buses were great. 7.3 IDI, it was pretty good. 444, pretty good. 408, pretty good. 360, pretty good. 466, pretty good. 466E, pretty good. I would not own a Crown 3800. There's just stuff that I'd rather have. I'd like to have a TC2000. I think that'd be neat. Yes, it is nighttime. That is not my first time driving a bus at night. I am a school bus driver by trade. I drive them early in the morning, daily. Chevy short buses are neat. did I learn to drive a school bus? I drove my first one at 6 years old while I steered it, but I've driven a couple, while I was a teenager, but I got trained to do it whenever I was 21, about 2 years ago. A little bit over 2 years ago. 2.5 years ago. I got a tour of Thomas. My dad worked for the newspaper and wrote a story at the end of my kindergarten year about how I was going to miss riding the school bus. They saw it, and then the next morning he had an email inviting us down to Thomas. And whenever we were there, they let me steer a brand new C2. A brand new 2007 C2. I like air suspension a lot better, and I like spring suspension as a rider and a driver. Both of my buses have air suspension. Well, they have spring too, but they have the airbag back there, so that makes everything much, much smoother. I'm in desperate need for some fuel, so at this next exit, I'm going to leave whenever I get fuel. So. I like the air suspension a lot. 594 had spring suspension, and it was not as enjoyable. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it was not as enjoyable. Noah's Wayne has spring suspension. Not terrible, but to me, not as enjoyable. It's alright. It's not like not super rough, but it's smooth. Yeah, there was a bump on my route right in front of my house pretty much that was known for the kids not letting the substitute bus drivers know. And every time they go over that bump, they they get launched in the air. They got a lot of attention out of that. But every time I was there, I was kind of the buzzkill. I didn't want anybody to get hurt, because that's a very good way to get hurt. So I had to let the bus driver know about it. I'm just driving around. Actually, I'm about to end the stream here in a minute because I need to get fuel. This is a place that you need to go in to pay, so I'll be ending it then. The bus is very hungry. We are on like 1/8 of a tank right now. But the bus is not getting a full tummy because it has a bad tummy. I'm going to give it just a little bit of fuel. I live in West Virginia. Let's see. Am I going to continue? No, I'm going to end the live stream whenever I get this thing parked at the fuel pump. I have not gotten the tank fixed yet. I still need to actually take the cage down and see where my leak is at. I think it's up under the cage somewhere where I can't see it. So I need to see if it's patchable or if I just need to get a new fuel tank. See, if I can get some like stop leaf or something. Because I think it's just, it seems like it's just a pinhole size leak. And I think it's somewhere up around like the, I want to say it's like the bottom half of the tank, but it's somewhere between the bottom half and the bottom quarter. I also love the sound of a 466. Well, thanks for tuning in, Jonathan. As you can see, we're pulling up to this truck stop here, which is where I'm going to get my fuel, but I'm going to wait until I actually get closer before I end. I will probably not get an ICBE. It's not something I'm really interested in getting. Alright guys, well I appreciate you all tuning in, and hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Let's see, if it's not rotted, stop leach work. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. What do I think of Max 47s? I've not heard good things about them, so I do not want one. Would I get an SBCV? I would love to have one. Am I going to get fuel? That's what I'm doing right now. Alright guys, appreciate you all tuning in. You have a good rest of your night, and yeah, take it easy.